This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this evening, and we continue our coverage of the breaking Edmonton Oilers situation. Oh, look at me sounding all newsy. It's like I've actually done this once or twice. That being serious, let's get to it, is the fact that, you know what, Mike Smith, as we had that Chris Johnson tweet, don't read into the timestamp. This is from the last video. This is not new, this is old, in the fact that the Oilers have placed Mike Smith on LTIR, recalled Olivier Rodrigue from Austria. He will quarantine for, I believe, the next 14 days, and then get going with the Oilers on the taxi squad in case of injury to Mikko Koskinen or Stuart Skinner. However, what we've been told in the past 30-40 minutes is the fact that the Oilers have to find a goaltender solution now, right? The problem is, no matter what you do though, you're still looking at a 7 to 14 day quarantine period, meaning the soonest a player can possibly be on the ice for the Oilers in net, backing up or starting in place of Mikko Koskinen, is the 24th or the 28th in either of those two situations. So here's the thing. Right as we currently sit, the key right now, and I need to show you this Mark Spector tweet because this is typical of everything we know of the Edmonton Oilers and Edmonton Oilers media and Edmonton Oilers fans. I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan. I'm not going to pretend this isn't one of my thoughts either, but this is very typical to see, and this is what is so troubling as a franchise to continue to keep seeing happen time in, time out, because you know what? All it does is create unnecessary issues that aren't actually there. What I mean by that, I'll get to it in a second, as I have to get you this here, and then you can see what I mean. It's Mark Spector panicking, and that is exactly what you saw in the title of this video of what we can't afford to do, is panic. So let me get this Spector tweet up, and let's get to it. Mark Spector, who I don't believe we've seen on Sportsnet at all in the past several days of Oilers broadcasts. So Mark Spector tweets about 8 minutes ago. This is fresh. This is something I just clipped. Thank you for sticking with me if you stuck through me clipping it. Mike Smith to LTIR and the Edmonton Oilers are in trouble. It's a peril in having a 38-year-old goalie, and they knew it. They'll need more than just a Hutchinson or a Subban. They need someone who can win NHL games consistently. Yikes. Here we go. You want to talk about the definition of panic? That Mark Spector tweet is the definition of panic by the Edmonton Oilers media in a situation that requires absolutely no panic. You want to talk about a star from both games, not just from last night's game or from game 1 of the NHL season for the Edmonton Oilers. A star from both games for the Oilers was Mikko Koskinen. No matter how you cut down 5 goals against Koskinen in game 1, he was not the problem in that game. Far from the problem. So, you look at it this way, is he goes out there and puts up an over 40 save effort, or like a 38 save on 40 shot effort, whatever it was last night, and gets the job done in back-to-back games, allowing combined less goals in 2 starts than the Canucks' 2 elite goalies did in combined starts. 8-7 difference is, whatever you want it to be, 1 goal. But guess what? Over 2 games, that's 3.5 goals compared to 4. That's a lot of goals against average differential. And for Mikko Koskinen, a 3.5 GAA after starting the season 5.0, who's complaining here? Let's be honest with ourselves, right? So, look at it this way. There is no reason to panic that the Oilers can't survive this, even just holding steady with getting somebody in net, no matter who it is, in time for the 24th, 28th. In the world we live in, it is kind of a situation that is a little bit crazier because, you know what, yeah, the soonest we can have someone ready to go on ice is the 24th. That is a long 9 days from now. That is a very long 9 days from now, and a lot, as you've seen in the past 3 days, is capable of happening within that 9 days. If you think you compact everything that's happened in 3 days since the Oilers season opened on Wednesday to now Friday, and you times that by 3, and you look at where we could potentially be by extrapolating the situation, That's a big issue. That's a massive issue, okay? But at some point, as we learned in the MLB season that I referenced earlier in the video prior, is the fact that even at the worst of times, it at some point stops getting worse. And quite honestly, the only thing that could make this worse is either an injury to, and it doesn't matter if it's an injury to Koskinen, Skinner, or Rodrigue. An injury to any of those three is a blowout. We've got issues, major time. Koskinen specifically, but any of those three, major issues. So, all right, that's fair. But is there a reason to panic? Well, I'm sorry, Oilers fans were already panicked coming into the season about Mikko Koskinen and Mike Smith. You've now had Koskinen prove once again to start this season he is a legit number one in the NHL. I'm not saying a number one like solid, probably a 1A that you would love to ride as much as possible because he gives you the best chance. That's why he's not the 1B. But now you don't have a backup. Well, guess what? You know what? The schedule dictates we're playing 56 games this year. Anyone that sits here and talks the best Oilers goaltending we've seen in 15 years talks about Cam Talbot playing 73 games or whatever it was. It was a high, mid-low, somewhere 70s for Cam Talbot in 16-17. You are kidding me. If Mikko Koskinen, who was in an 82-game season, should it have been this year, was going to play 55 games, I don't understand why all of a sudden Mikko Koskinen isn't capable of carrying the brunt of this load. And that is looking at it from a pure hockey standpoint, not an injury, not a what-if standpoint. Pure hockey standpoint says the Edmonton Oilers have no reason to panic based on who is still available. Stuart Skinner, here's the thing. Everybody keeps asking me, well, why wouldn't you just start him and see what you've got? The time to do that was opening night, right? We crapped away a game on opening night. Any way you cut it, the same old story cost us on opening night. So you don't have that luxury anymore, right? In a 56-game season, which now only has 54 games remaining, we don't have that luxury to go test something out and see if it works. You have to run the lineup that gives you the best chance to win every single night. So that is Mikko Koskinen as long as he is ready and able. And he is currently ready and able. So you have to ride him. And the fear that Oilers fans have about riding Mikko Koskinen is completely unwarranted. No matter what you throw at this guy, he continues to deflect it away and say, no, I'm capable. Yet everybody keeps finding anything they can throw to try and stick mud on the wall to say that this guy is not capable of being the Oilers goaltender this season. But you know what? He is. Stuart Skinner, great. I would love to see him get some game action. But you do not throw him out there to start the game on Saturday against the Habs. You don't throw him out there on the road against Toronto. You know what? In the back-to-back on January 30th, 31st, potentially. But by then, if we're solving the goaltender issue, we already have somebody filling his role in the backup position by the 24th, 28th. But all in this, what I'm trying to explain to you is there is absolutely no reason to panic and do something stupid. And that is what we have become so accustomed to in Edmonton Oilers land. And this is only egged on by this ridiculous tweet by Mark Spector. This is typical. This is what the definition of what's gotten us into trouble in the past is. This is exactly what has always been and always might be in Oilers land of, oh my goodness, this situation seems crazy. Panic! Right? That's what it seems to be. That this tweet by Mark Spector, that's all I can assume. If Mark Spector's tweeting like this, there has got to be at least 55 Oilers fans somewhere in the world running around like the fire alarm's going off and they can't find the flames, but they know there's danger and they're freaking out. Not saying like if the fire alarm's going off, don't get out of the building, but right, there's no eyeball threat here, but there's still absolute not unnecessary. Again, bad trying to make the analogy here, but overreaction, over the top panic. And, well, you know what? Just calmly walk yourself to the exit. There's no need to worry about anything. Just go to the exit and calm down. Right? And that's what we need to do as Oilers fans here. Because if we panic, if Ken Holland panics and does something stupid, you end up trading Drake Caggiula for Brandon Manning. See? See? Yeah, I got you there. All right. So let's not do something stupid. And let's just slow down a minute here and realize Mikko Koskinen is the #1 goalie in the NHL. That's the first thing you got to do. Number 2 is you got to realize we don't play back-to-backs until January 30th or 31st. Also, what you need to realize is there's plenty of time to sit here and evaluate. We don't have to do anything tonight, tomorrow. Heck, we could do it Sunday. And realistically, best timetable, if you're still targeting the 28th as your best date, that's still available to you if you get a goaltender from within Canada. And right now, we have not seen enough names of who's sitting at home talking hockey with their kids or their wife or their parents, not playing hockey in the NHL that is capable of playing hockey in the NHL. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. The phone's ringing. I'm up on out of here.